Hello everyone, welcome to 24.2. This is Coach Josh and Coach Job again from CrossFit Ethos, giving you guys some tips and strategies to tackle and attack your workout and hopefully get the best results. So let's jump straight into it. We're going to talk a little bit about let's talk about initial impressions first, right? Josh, what do you think about the workout?
Yeah, I love that CrossFit stuck to their word. It's pretty much easier for the affiliates, like a barbell. We all have barbells, and it's pretty much standard, the concept to a rower for almost more than a decade now, and then a jump rope, right? It's really the spirit of the open, where everything is quite doable for everyone. Yeah.
Sounds good. We're being tested for a longer type of workout, and even if two of the movements are some of my favorites, specifically the row and the deadlift, I am dreading the jump rope a little bit as I'm coming from a calf injury that I got from running training. So I'm going to be one of those people that's being spoken to when it comes to the scaling and the braking, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. Talking about the warm-up real quickly, how would we recommend that you guys prepare for this?
Yeah, so to start the warm-up, obviously you start with something that can bring your core temperature up. We suggest to start with a run, because with a lot of double unders, there's so much time where your feet is jumping and bouncing off the floor.
Next up to that is definitely doing a couple of rows and a couple of deadlifts. Now you kind of decide on the time frame that you want to do this, about a minute or a couple of reps depending on whether you're building up to an RX weight or you're working with the scaled reps. Now consider why you guys are doing this warm-up. How would you row throughout the 20 minutes, and how would you do your deadlifts throughout the 20 minutes as well, which we'll get to more in detail in just a little bit.
Yeah, and then also when you start warming up on the jump rope, think of it as the skill portion. So we would recommend 2 sets of 30 seconds, whether you're doing scaled single unders or doing the RX version of double unders. You need to figure out your breaks and your cadence.
Last but not the least on the warm-up was definitely approaching it with a little bit of dynamic and some static stretches, addressing what muscle groups or joints are tight on your specific body. That will help you guys be a little bit more loose coming into the workout. So let's talk a little bit about strategy, guys. We'll kind of do this more on a breakdown of an individual movement perspective first, and then we'll look at it from a larger perspective. Starting off with your row, we want to think about the 300 meters as a shorter distance. So if you kind of look at the counterpart of that in terms of calories, we tested this ourselves, it's somewhere between 20 to 21. Some people kind of have a better understanding of, okay, I now know what my pace should be if I'm doing 20 to 21 calories at a time. Our recommendation is for the novice athletes. We're looking at anywhere from 215 up per 500 meters. So if you're kind of falling behind your top barrier, your fastest time on the row should be around 2 minutes and 15 per 500 meters. For intermediate athletes, try to get as close to 2 minutes at all times and maintain that. For our advanced athletes, 1 minute and 52 seconds per 500 meters. This is going to be a plus or minus depending obviously on what round that you are working on. 2 quick tips that might help you guys when you guys are rowing. You want to think about hips to heels. Hips to heels. Get your hips as close to your heels every single time before you do a pull. That's going to help you do the row with a little bit more quads, front of the legs. Second thing there is coordinated breathing. Regardless of how fast or how slow you are doing your stroke or cycling time, think about a steady breath in and a steady breath out throughout the 20 minutes.
Next would be the deadlift. Pay attention to load fatigue ratio. Remember, 10 reps is very short, and then the weights are pretty much moderate. But remember, we're coming off the rower, so think when Coach Job said hips to heels, you want to think to do a Romanian deadlift over a traditional deadlift, where we're lengthening the hamstrings and our glutes versus the leg drive, because we're already off the rower, right? And then having the row and the jump rope, that's already 2 cardio movements. Even if it's in a 20-second time frame, we want to think that this is the only loaded movement. So even if we break or go unbroken, we need to have the mindset to attack the deadlift, right? And then don't forget, be present and then try to adapt. What does that mean? Like if you have to go slow, like if you have to break more sets, do that. Like recognize your own situation, and then if you have to make adjustments to get the most out of the workout, do it straight away.
Last but not the least is our jump rope. Now, for the single unders and the jumping jacks for the foundations athletes, we want to think of this as a fundamental movement. There's not really a high skill barrier for this one. No accuracy needed, no coordination. So just course and breathe through the movement. Try to stay as unbroken as you can throughout that. However, for those working with the double unders, you want to think about breaking earlier than what you intended. If you want to think about you being a proficient person doing double unders. Now, maybe you're a games athlete, go 50 unbroken the entire time if you feel like it. But if not, it's important that we hold back. Try to break it in sets of 2, maybe sets of 3. Something, again, the resounding thing here is something you can sustain for 20 minutes. Now, let's talk about mindset. So just sort of like an overarching theme and overarching approach over the entire workout. First up here is you want to think about this exercise as a 5K run and not a 400-meter sprint. So if 3, 2, 1, go, your first round is done as if it's one round for time, you are set for failure. You want to think about the last round, not the first round, not the middle round. So kind of envision yourself, visualize how you would be executing the 10th round, or if you're going to get the 10 rounds, right? Visualize how you would be doing your final round and apply that pace right from the get-go. We promise that your results will be better.
Yeah. Second, again, I can't stress this enough. Adjusting on the fly, meaning do I have to slow down or when do I have to go faster? So obviously from the start, slow down when needed. Like we say it again and again. It's very important in this 20-second time frame. Like all the movements, there's not much bottleneck. So you don't want to get into forced rest where you're spending so much time with your head between your knees, right? Slow down. Stay on your own lane. Don't mind the person on the left, right, front, and back.
Snowballing off of what Coach Josh said there, basically we have your tips and strategies, we have our recommendations, but at the end of the day, it's your body. You know yourself best, and maybe 3, 2, 1, go, you decided you'll go unbroken in certain things, you'll go singles in certain things. Adjusting and slowing down on the fly is very important to achieve an optimal result. Maybe in round 1 and 2, you decide on doing 5s on the deadlifts. You approach round 3 and you're feeling a little bit more fatigued. There's nothing wrong with going 3s and singles. Adjust and adapt on the fly. Now, just because you went down in terms of the breaks, in terms of the pace and everything, it also doesn't mean that you can't pick it back up towards the end. So that's why one of our final recommendations is stay on your lane. We can give you guys guidelines. You can watch other people do it. You can be doing this with other people and you see what they're doing. At the end of the day, your body knows you best. Have that self-conversation often and a lot throughout that time frame and do what is best for you and do what is absolutely that you can offer. And also, last but not the least, don't forget to have fun. And I think that's it for us for 24.2. We have one more workout coming you guys next week. And we still have you guys for your tips and strategies all the way here from CrossFit Ethos. We want to wish everyone the best of luck, especially our Ethos family. We'll see you guys next week.